there! In this video we're going to talk about why we use the fourth finger on the violin and why it's useful, because I get a lot of questions from new violinists as to why we use the fourth finger at all if it's oftentimes the same as the string above it. If you weren't aware, our fourth finger on any string, say A string, is also the same as our open E string. Our fourth finger on D is also the same as our open A string, and our fourth finger on G is also the same as our open D string. The only one where it's not the same as another string is our E, where it just gives us an extra note because we don't have another string above our E string. So when we use our fourth finger, what we're doing is we're giving ourselves a little bit of flexibility. By that, I mean we can make it easier for ourselves in certain circumstances so that we don't have to change strings. I'm going to make something up on the fly here. I'm going to play a little passage and I'll show you how it's easier to do it with a fourth finger than an E string. So I'm going to start on the A string here. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, open. Or C sharp, D, E, D, C sharp, B, A. If I was to play that on the E string, because I only have the one note, it can get a little bit aggressive and scratchy. Also, I have to think about it to really get over and get back in time so that my note isn't too long. If I play it on the A string, it's a lot more consistent and I don't have to think about that string crossing. The other reason we might use our fourth finger is if we don't want the song to sound really aggressive. So sometimes when we use our open strings, they can sound bright compared to when we use our fingers. They don't ring quite as much. So sometimes when we want that consistency between sounds, we'll use a fourth finger to make it more consistent sounding. The E rings. So we're more likely to use a 4 on A to prevent that ringing when we want the note to be short. So if you see fourth fingers in your piece, usually it's not just there to be annoying or to be difficult. You want to use the fourth finger because it's going to make it sound better or make it easier to play when you get it up to full speed. If you're a fiddle player, you typically won't use fourth fingers very much, so when you do get into more technical music that has lots of runs, lots of complicated fingerings, you'll have to start using that more. And if you're a classical player, you get into that stuff a little bit sooner, so you're going to have to incorporate your fourth sooner in your learning. In order to make sure you have a good fourth finger ready to play, you want to make sure that your hand isn't open to the side. You need to have a nice positioning where your wrist is open. You don't want a flat pancake or pizza wrist. You want a nice open wrist, and your hand should be turned in so that your fourth finger can reach. If you have trouble getting your fourth finger onto the G string because it's hard to stretch that far, bring your elbow a little bit more underneath the violin, and that's going to give you a little bit extra room to get over to those lower strings to use your fourth finger. I hope that helps answer any questions you might have about fourth finger, why we use it, and what it's good for, and how to get a good fourth finger sound. If you have any more problems with your fourth finger, you're finding it's weak, I'm happy to do another video explaining things in more detail. If you have any video requests, song requests, comments, concerns, questions, leave them all in the comments down below and I'll be happy to get back to them. I'll see y'all next time. Bye for now.